Hi, Periscope. Let me double tap. Hi, Periscope. I'm here at the Tooks Group office, and I just decided to log on while I had a few minutes. I'm waiting on a client. It's late, actually, but it's all good. I figure I could use this time wisely and answer a question that I always get, no matter how many times I've answered it. I get this question probably at least once a week. How do I get started? What do I do? Where do I go? Or I'm interested in buying a property, whether it be as a principal residence or investment property. I always get that question. So I'll go ahead and answer that. Even though I've expanded down here to Georgia, I'll first say my name is Aisha Thomas, and my company is the Thomas Agency. I have a company in Michigan called the Thomas Agency, and then I have the Thomas Agency of Georgia. In Georgia, I'm changing the focus where we're trying to basically facilitate the purchase, sale, leasing of commercial property for investors and small companies. But I can never leave my start, which is residential real estate for some reason. So it's all good because that's what feeds me in the interim. So I get this question all the time about where do I start? Let me set the phone down for a second so I don't have to hold it. Okay. I always tell people the first thing you do, of course, if you don't have the funds saved up, you always want to save some money. But before you even start looking for a property, the first thing you want to do is get pre-approved. A lot of times you can't even schedule an appointment. Oh, hi, John McCraven from Holland. I've been to Holland before. That was about 7 years ago. But anyway, the first thing I always get asked is, where do I start? So you always want to save up some money because you're going to need it for incidentals, for closing costs, and a lot of times for your requirements for underwriting. But I always tell people first to start with getting pre-approved. As I was saying, you won't even be able to schedule appointments sometime with some agents. And a lot of agents do that because we don't want to waste our time. So we want to make sure you're pre-approved and you're at least ready to go, because time is of the essence when you start talking about real estate and looking at putting in some offers. You got to be ready. So if you see something you like and you're not even pre-approved, you may not even be able to afford it, let alone, put an offer in on it if your credit's not right. So I always tell people start with by getting pre-approved. And the next question is, well, where do I go to get pre-approved? Tell people pull your own credit first. Make sure that there aren't any errors on there, anything you can fix yourself. And hi Lenise, hi. Everybody follow Mompreneur ESQ Esquire. She's an awesome brand attorney. And I plan on using her services here in Georgia. She's based in Atlanta. Awesome brand attorney, help you protect your business. So everybody, make sure you follow her. She gives out awesome free information that a lot of people are charging you for. So I definitely appreciate her transparency and everything. But okay, back to what I was saying is, okay, after I say get pre-approved, I always tell people to start with a bank or credit union that you're already involved with, that you already have a relationship with, because therefore they'll have your bank statements, they'll have your history as far as your transaction history, or even you can just start with, one of the general mortgage brokers. Because if you're a first-time buyer, I say start with some of the larger institutions because they offer so many first-time home buyer programs, down payment assistance programs, and if you're a member of their bank, they may have some additional grant funding that you may be eligible for. So I always get this question, what do I do first? So the first thing you're supposed to do is get pre-approved. Now, of course, if you're rolling in the dough and have the cash, then all you need is your proof of funds to get started. And you'll be surprised, I've had people send me a picture, literally take a picture of money and say, I have money, here's a picture of it. Sorry, that doesn't work for most sellers, I'm sorry. So for proof of funds, what qualifies as a proof of funds would be either a letter from your bank or a letter from whatever institution that, yeah, I know you would, certain clientele who have sent me pictures of their money. So, and I mean, I can't do anything to laugh. I've had people who tried to bring me shoe boxes of cash to show me that they have the money. Sorry, I don't want to have the responsibility of taking your cash and holding on to it. So I tell people what serves as a proof of funds would be a letter from your lending institution, what else, or from your bank, or like if you're going to use the funds from IRA or some kind of investment, some kind of statement, or just something as simple as your own bank statement. You can black out your account numbers. You can black out any other information. You can just use that, if you have the cash and you know the price range that you're purchasing in. But if you don't have cash, you do want to save up enough money to have for your down payment. Usually it's 3% for FHA, 3 to 5%. So it's a really good starter to have at least $3,000 to $5,000 down, just to get going. And then of course your mortgage person will let you know based on when they look at your credit to see if there's any other things you need to clear up. So it's real simple. It's not hard. It's hard to get started as most people think. Your main thing is to get pre-approved, whether it be by a bank or credit union or a mortgage lender. And also, before you even get your credit run, pull it yourself, remove any errors, pay off some smaller bills if you can afford to do that, and save up some cash. And if you have the cash, just use your own proof of funds and get going. So, oh, somebody said they just came in. I'll kind of reintroduce myself again. And hi, everybody. My name is Aisha Thomas with the Thomas Agency of Georgia. I run a real estate company in Michigan as well as Georgia. And we specialize, my Michigan company specializes in first-time home buyers, REOs. Georgia, I'm kind of transitioning over to focusing with investors and small companies, facilitating the sale, purchase, lease of commercial property. But I figure since I get so many friends and family or just people in general asking me about what do I do, how do I get started? And especially if you're buying a house, as I said before, for your personal usage, your principal residence, the main thing is to get pre-approved. And there's so many avenues where if you're a first-time buyer, you can qualify for down payment assistance by going through your bank that you already have a relationship with. And you also can, what else? Let's see. Yeah, your banks, mortgage brokers, and if you need some resources, feel free to email me at info@the-thomasagency.com. That's info@the-thomasagency.com. And I can send you some information. I don't get any kickbacks or anything like that because that's against the rules, but I do have some pretty good contacts where I can send you mortgage brokers who I know who are honest, who work hard for you to get your deal done. And from a realtor perspective, those are the best, the ones that move expeditiously, because a lot of times the ball is in their court once we find a property. That mortgage process can really hold up a transaction. So, and I'm just kind of like, on Periscope right now because I'm waiting on a client. I'm at the Tukes Group office, as you can see. I'm at their office. Waiting on a client, and he's a little late, so I figured I would be productive with my time and take a cue from Miss Lanice, Mompreneur, ESQ, who said, you need to start using your Periscopes and your other social media mediums to give out information and just build your brand. So I figured I would do that today. So thank you, Lanice. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to write them on there. Give me a couple hearts or something, because I'm a little bored actually sitting here because the person said they misjudged how far the office was. I'm in town. The Tukes Group, I can actually tell you about their upcoming Flipology boot camp. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's an upcoming boot camp, November 14th, 15th. Cobb Galleria, 2 days for $197. And I definitely promote this, even though it's not my event. He is one of my clients. And, oh, it's your birthday. My birthday is November 10th, Lenny. So we're Scorpios too, so. Even though I don't really believe in that stuff, but kindred spirits. basically, as I was saying, the Flipology Bootcamp is a 2-day experience for $197. You can't beat this, where you get hands-on experience, learning about how to make money in real estate regardless of your credit score. And I know somebody just asked me about the credit score. Your credit score, depending on the type of loan you're trying to get, you can get FHA for as low as, with a credit score as low as 580, and that's like awesome, 580. For most underwriters, they want like 620. So, but you can have a score as low as 580, and I was like, wow. I just met somebody at Wells Fargo who told me, and Regions Bank as well, who has a program with 580. Now, of course, you may need a little bit more cash, but that lets you know your credit does not have to be perfect. And I'm sure Brittany, if she works with mortgages, she can vouch for that there are some programs that you can have a score as low as 580. So don't let your credit score hold you up, but of course you'll get better terms on long run if your credit is better. LL events, you didn't hear that. The answer to your question was 580, as low as 580. The interest rates for FHA, vary, Lanice, but it still was like no more than 6%, 6 to 7%, and that's on the high end. But most programs to qualify for like the down payment assistance and all that, you need about a 620, I was told. Lowest for FHA is 580 LL events. Well, it depends on the lender, but I've been told from Regions Bank, like a representative I just met last week at an expo, it was 580 and 620. So it just, some other factors, employment, the amount of money you make annually, those factors all play into that. But when he told me 580, I said, oh, okay, a lot of people can still get in the game. So, of course you always want to work on getting your credit better, but if you can't, it won't stop you from getting a house. But like I was saying, I recommend trying the Flipology 101 Bootcamp. It's great for people who are interested in investing, wholesaling. There are different lenders, attorneys, realtors. Everyone will be there. It's a great networking thing. You'll learn how to analyze deals. So I definitely tell people to go to events like this because I love having educated clients. That makes the transactions a lot easier. Okay, did somebody say, can you type that question again? I saw something about credit programs. I'm not against them, but I found out, yeah, I do know Sonia. I didn't go to the last Everything Real Estate event because I had the baby, but I did go to the one before Lanice, and it's awesome. Sonia shares a wealth of knowledge as well, and she's doing her thing on the development and commercial real estate side, and she has a great book too. But what I was saying about going to events like this, like boot camps, I like educated clients because it makes the transaction a lot smoother. And this also helps you with learning how to analyze deals from an investment side. Okay, how do you feel about the credit programs that are supposed to raise your score? Oh, like I was saying about that, I'm not against them, but I feel like a lot of those programs do things that you can do yourself. In the past, I had terrible credit because I was credit card queen in college. And when I bought my first house, I was able to clear up my credit myself. I did like a program where, yeah, they're very expensive, and that was the thing. If you don't have any money to pay your bills, it was like, I don't have any money to give you where I could put that towards one of my bills. So the short version, because I saw my client just pull up, the short version is a lot of that stuff you can do yourself. You can write letters. You can, Corey, hey Corey, they are going to come to Detroit. I'm trying to get them there. I'll let you know. But a lot of that stuff you can do yourself, writing letters, negotiating with your lenders, or with the creditors. You can negotiate with them. They'll take pennies on the dollar because they end up selling your stuff anyway for that. That's why you get harassed by all those new companies because they keep reselling your debt. So I just feel like it's worth the effort to take the time to try to clear it up yourself. But if you just don't have the wherewithal or the energy to do it, then of course, if someone can do it, and I would say get as many referrals, real people, because I've heard bad things about, some of those people who take your money and say, I'm going to fix your credit, and then all that stuff pops right back on your credit in 6 months. So they only fix it long enough for you to apply, and then it all comes rolling back. My IG is Thomas Agency, the Thomas Agency, and my Twitter is Thomas Agency, but on IG it's the Thomas Agency with the THE in front. But so like I was saying, I definitely recommend going to events to learn more. Before I got into real estate, I actually like commercial because I'm kind of leaning towards that. Somebody asked me, do I prefer residential? I like residential in terms of dealing with the people, but for commercial, it's a lot less emotions. You know, it's all about whether those numbers make sense. It really has less to do about the property and it's more about the numbers. And I'm going to do some Periscopes, and I was inspired to write something about my brother is writing a book, and he kind of inspired me to write one about intro to commercial real estate. So that's something I'm definitely going to do. My client is here. So let me open the door for him. 1 second, and I will talk to you all later. So, hi Frank, how are you? Okay, thank you everybody for joining me. Sorry I got to get off so fast, but because my client's here now, but my person I'm meeting with. So, all right, you all have a good day. My IG is the Thomas Agency. All right, thanks. Bye-bye, Lenise. Bye-bye.